I'm doing something new. I'm using concealer as my base as opposed to eyeshadow. And I'm using my Too Faced, not eyeshadow, but eyeshadow primer. I'm using my Too Faced Born This Way full coverage concealer. And I'm buffing it out with my sponge. Buffing it out real good. Real good. But going back to my original statement, as I mentioned before, as long as you have a core 4, you can play around with anything after that. If you want to put a whole lot of highlight on your face, knock yourself out. If you want to keep it simple, put a little bit of mascara on, you're good to go. If you want to do an eyeshadow look, you're more than welcome to. You can be as creative as possible as long as you have your core 4. And again, the powder is interchangeable with a setting spray. Then you're good to go. So I've gone ahead and prepped my eyes, and we're going to be using Anastasia Soft Brown. Excuse the look of my packaging. Anyways, we're going to be using the Soft Glam palette, because as you can see, it's nice neutral colors. You can get away with this with building up different looks, you know, ideas. If you want to do a traditional, soft, natural look, you can do that with this palette. If you prefer to go a little bit more smokier, you could do that also with this palette. So I'm going to go in with my Morphe R40 brush. And I'm going to pick up the burnt orange, which is this one. As you can see, it's hitting pan. And I'm gonna put that all over my lid. Nice stiff brush. It's good to lay down different types of powders. So I'm putting that all over my lid. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Zoeva soft defining brush. And I'm gonna pick up Sienna, which is right here, which is right next to burnt orange, which is also hitting pan. And I'm gonna place that over the lid and right underneath my brow bone. We're gonna go for a soft, smoky eye, natural smoky eye. This is our transition shade. The shade before this one was the base, which most of the time when you're doing most looks, people's base tends to be a shade that matches closely to your own skin tone. So that's what that was. The burnt orange, even though it looks off, when you actually apply it, it disappears right into your skin. So now, like I mentioned before, I'm going in with my transitional shade, which is the Sienna. And as you can see, it's starting to give me color. Not too much, but just a little bit. Awesome. Now I'm gonna pick up the mulberry, which is this darker rustic coppery tone. Excuse me, not copper, rustic tone. And I'm taking my Sigma blending brush, and I want to concentrate this because it's a darker shade, darker than the Sienna, mainly on my lid and a little bit above my crease. It has a dome-like look, so you can concentrate more of those colors. Next, I'm gonna take that Zoeva brush that I was using earlier that had the Sienna on it, and I'm buffing out the harsh lines from the mulberry so that Sienna and mulberry just melds together cohesively. We also don't want burnt orange to disappear either. So we're reinforcing that, reintroducing it back to the base area. But you see how it's like gradually taking shape? That's what you want. Now I'm gonna take my Zoeva Smoky Shader brush, and I'm gonna pick up a little bit of Cypress and Rustic, which are these two brown tones. As you can see, this is more of a chocolatey tone. It's actually more of a cool tone brown, and the Rustic is gonna help soften it, balance it out, so it won't look gray, because we're working with nice warm tones and we don't want it to get lost. And I'm focusing this particularly on Violet. And even if you prefer to use this because it's not too dark, you can use this as an everyday look. It's a nice, quick, simple look that you can wear to work comfortably and not be too overwhelmed or feel like, dang, it was like right in my face. It's nice and natural. Now, if you do want to step it up a notch, there is a black color, which is a noir. I'd mix that in a cypress umber to give you more of that smoky look if you're transitioning from day to night. So just a few more strokes of umber and rustic on my lid. Now I'm going to use my tried and true Marc Jacobs high gel liner. And what I want to do with this is I'm going to tight line. What tight line is the skin that's above in your eye where the lash line is. I'm going to tight line that so that way it makes my lashes look fuller. Makes your eyelashes look fuller and thicker and darker. So I'm tight lining first. Do the same to the other eye. And now what I want to do is take that same liner, go on the top of my line. We're not winging it out or anything. Going in again with that Zoeva brush, taking Noir, using the other side of my brush, and I'm just concentrating that over that liner to smudge it out. Cool. So you could do what I'm doing right now, which is I'm pressing my eyelids shut so that way it transfers. I am going to enhance that liner on my bottom line, and you can do the same technique if you are more comfortable doing your bottom line and not tight lining. You can do the same technique where you're pressing really hard to transfer that liner. I really want it to look nice and smoky. I think I might just keep it this way. I don't know if I want to smoke it out or not. I usually smoke out my bottom portion of my eye. I don't know, let's see. I only picked up a little bit. I did take a little more of the Cypress Umber, which is the dark chocolate color. But that's it. To smoke out my lower lash line. Alright, so now we're going to sweep off the excess powder. So now I do want to add a little color into my inner tear duct. And I'm contemplating on being outside of my comfort and use bronze, or do I want to use something tried and true like glistening and fairy? So now I'm going to swatch bronze, fairy, and glistening, and we're going to decide between those three which one I want to put on my inner corner. So this is the colors. You see that? So the one on the very top, that one's fairy, which is kind of like it's a gold color, but it's more softened. The one in the middle is glistening, which is like more of a rosy gold. And then the one on the bottom is the bronze, which actually looks the most gold out of the three. So I'm leaning towards glistening, which is the one in the middle right there. I think that's the one I'm gonna go with. Wipe my hands, haha. So we're gonna take glistening, use my pencil brush, and put that right in the inner tear duct. Do you have to do this step? No, I just think it adds a little bit more impact though. Like, look at that. And it complements, because it is that rosy goldish color, it complements the rest of the overall look. Pretty colors, right? You know what? I think I am gonna take Fairy, which was the lightest of the colors, and layer it. Yeah, buddy. Nice. Not too crazy, not too over the top. Just nice. Now I'm going to take my mascara, my Milk mascara. This is a cute little travel size Milk mascara. It's been my favorite for a while. And I'm putting that on my lashes. So if you wanted to do this and keep it right here, it's completely fine. You can stop right here and it speaks for itself. It's still a nice overall look. I want to vamp it up a little bit by, I just realized I say it a little bit a lot in my videos. I'm gonna vamp it up by putting on falsies. You don't have to do that. I just choose to do that. But you'll see when I show you what it looks like with one false lash on and the other one without it, and you'll see the difference. And you'll be like, oh, okay, I can see why she decided to go that route. So I'm taking my lashes, and I don't have the packaging of them, but these are, you can take my word for it. These are the Sephora collection. They're the lash stories. Like, Sephora came out with this cute theme last year with lipsticks, and it was called Lip Stories. Well, this year, they came out with what they call lash stories. Very affordable lashes. They're $8 a pair, which is reasonable compared to some of the other lashes that they sell at the store. And they're really nice. Like, when you see these on, it's like, wow, these are only $8. Pretty darn good. Would I still say that it's on the higher end of a drugstore? Yes. But would I still say that it's also reasonable? Yes, compared to, again, other lashes that they sell at Sephora. They can range from $8 all the way up to, I believe, $20. So I think you're getting your money's worth with these. I can't remember the name of the lashes, but like I mentioned before, they are a part of the lash story, and I will link that information in detail down below. So I'm gonna let them get a little tacky. So while my lashes are drying, getting a little tacky, I'm gonna go in with my Becca bronzer. This is in the shade Maui Night. And with bronzer, again, it adds warmth to your skin. You don't have to use this. You could omit this and go straight for contouring if that's what you prefer, which gives you more sculpting, defines different shadows of your face. But I don't necessarily do contour. I could if I prefer, but I think my cheeks speak for themselves, so I don't sculpt. I do like to add warmth, which is what bronzing does. And I'm buffing that right into my skin. Now I'm going to put on some blush. I'm using Milani's Dolce Pink Rose Dough Baked Powder Blush, which is this beautiful marbled, it looks pink and almost gold-like, so it could play a blush and a highlight, I would say. It will be, to me, somewhat comparable to NARS Orgasm. Putting more light into my face with this blush. Like I said, it acts like a highlight. You can even do like a figure 8 to give you that dimension of a highlight and that blush combo. Figure 8. My lashes should be tacky enough, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply them. Don't worry about the lash glue. It's gonna dry. It's gonna disappear. That color is gonna disappear. I personally like to apply them with my hands. Some people like to use lash or tweezers. Now they have like lashing tools that helps you apply the lashes. You can see the difference between my right eye and then my left eye. Right eye, left eye. Dramatics, simple, subtle. I like it because it does give me more like that wing, like that cat eye. I dig that, like a lot. This one being kind of defiant. But that's what happens when you misplace the box. Anyways, I do like the way this looks. Like, I could just rock this and I'd be okay with it, but If you know me by now, you know how much I like highlights. So I'm gonna highlight, I'm gonna enhance this beautiful blush. And I'm gonna be using my Becca's Topaz, which is the pressed powder, illuminating powder, in the shade Topaz. So, I think I'm digging it. Like if I had to add like a 5th step that is like, you have to do as a core 4 plus 1, I would say a highlight, man. Highlight, highlight, highlight. Because even the blush that I had a little bit of a highlight sense to it. So obviously it's something that you need to take advantage of. And I just realized I was like, why is this not working for me? Like it's not as narrow because I was using my wrong brush. This is the brush I usually use when I highlight. So, right there and right to there. Okay, this makes more sense. Okay, there we go. There's the highlight. There we go. Now we're gonna finish off the lips and then we're gonna finish the look. So I'm using Kat Von D's Everlasting Lip Liner in Blood Milk. Gross name, but bomb lip liner. It's one of my favorites. I don't tend to completely line my lips. I like to do the ombre look. Now I'm gonna take my Anastasia lipstick. It's a matte lipstick. It's in the shade Cool Brown. And if that wasn't enough, I will be taking Kat Von D's matte lipstick in the shade Muneka. And when I first saw this, I have to admit, when I first saw this color, I was like, this is not gonna work. I was just like, because it's such a pinky peach. Like it's crazy. I was just like, I'm gonna look crazy. But I tried this on the first time and I was like, oh my gosh, you're exactly what I wanted. Thank you. Thank you for inviting yourself to my party. You're more than welcome to stay. Because it gives me that impact of that ombre look without me looking craggy. That one look pretty. And I'm focusing in on my bottom lip and you see me patting it. The reason why I did the steps that I did, because of the fact that this is such an impactful color, I didn't want those other colors to be fighting with one another when I put this on. Or rather fighting the Muneka. They all complement the lip liner, the Cool Brown, and the Muneka. Cool. So, that is done. Let's unpin. And so there you have it. This is the final look. I was gonna put on lip gloss, but I felt like it would just take away from the lips, so I omitted that. You can put on a lip gloss if you prefer, if you want that really overall glossy look, but I feel like the balance of the lips with the eyes, they complement one another. And as I mentioned before, you can also put on a setting spray if you prefer, to lock everything in, to set everything, and just to keep it from moving, as an alternative or even as an additive with a setting powder. One of the ones that works well, that is a die-hard go, I do use it on clients when I'm doing their face, is Urban Decay's All Nighter. This is a travel size one. This one retails for $15. The fuller size is gonna retail for, I wanna say $32, $34. But this is a really good alternative if you don't necessarily wanna go with the step of a setting powder. If you prefer to still set your face, which I would definitely recommend, you can also use the setting spray in replace of the setting powder, especially for clients who are a little bit more on the drier side. Well, that is it for this tutorial. I do hope that you guys enjoy, and hopefully these steps helped you out, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Till next time, bye.